Welcome to day 2 of the 5-day challenge for high impact teams in 2024. If you haven't yet subscribed or joined the Slack channel, you can find the links below or above, not sure. But if you haven't seen day 1 video, I strongly recommend you take a few minutes to get familiar with it because we will build on top of it. I discussed there the importance of making an evidence-based assessment to prevent bias and to also have a holistic view of your team status. And today we will discuss how to best use that assessment to focus on an area of growth that will truly make a difference in your team's impact. Yesterday, I shared the pitfall of trying to run before you know how to walk. And unfortunately, I have seen this over and over. For example, in the last decade, we all have focused a lot on discovery. But many teams out there are still feature factories that are not even measuring their product increment results. Focusing on discovery before being outcome-oriented will diminish the potential and the results of the investments we are making in developing any new discovery practice. That's why at Product Direction, we developed a model to think about how your team status will influence the next challenge, the next improvement that can help them make the most impact on the results. Below is a link to more complete explanation of the maturity model, but let's quickly go over it. Okay, I know this is super small. Don't worry. Actually, we'll send you the link to the complete explanation and more complete pictures that you can get. But essentially, this product excellence model, what tries to clarify is that teams grow in particular stages of their excellence in product practices. At the very least, most teams are doing some sort of agile. So usually the first stage of maturity is when you're coming out of a waterfall organization and becoming agile, which means that you will still have some sort of projects, but you will break it down and will trying to do these iterations and trying to be a bit more time boxing your delivery. Of course, that is not at all product related. Usually the product managers in those organizations are a bit more like a project manager with some steroids. But the next level that you want to grow, if you're at this stage, the very first stage, is start building your outcome sense. And if explained in reverse, the reason of building this outcome sense is that if you try to be strategic, if you try to do discovery without having a focus on the outcomes, it's pointless because you will, even if you do discovery, you will not know the result of that discovery because you are not measuring your product yet. So the first big step is building this outcome sense by building some metrics around your product, starting analyzing those metrics, starting finding opportunities for improvement. The next stage after that is becoming more solution discovery oriented, in which you probably still are receiving some of these requests, but since you are trying to know what you will impact because you have this outcome sense, you will start doing some validation and you will start trying to be more user-centered in the decision on how you solve those problems that you are given. And at the fourth stage, before going to the continuous improvement excellence, is the real, true customer-centric and outcome-oriented teams that they are more strategic, they can plan ahead, they can build this discovery that also focus on the problem discovery to build a strategy that supports the growth that they need to have. By the way, I didn't mention it before, I was talking about the levels, but up here you can find, again, this is super small, but you will find the practices like delivery, how you do optimization, how you do discovery, direction, and some of the fundamentals. And of course, if you go through the model, you will find more details for each of these stages. But at the very minimum, if you are having this logic of what I need to build first in order to have an impact, again, goes in the direction of not trying to run before you walk. For example, again, if you go to stage 4 and you try to be more strategic and make more strategic selections, if you don't have any discovery yet and you don't know what are the customer needs, your strategic selections will be based on your gut feeling or what the company wants and not really what will make a difference for the user. So again, this is kind of the logical way to grow your organization. And if we map it to the assessment, that's why I was yesterday selecting a few of the practices in each area to analyze. Again, we have more than 100 of these areas. So you can think that this is quite a large spreadsheet. But if you think, for example, in optimization, this will be for teams that need to build this outcome sense. If you go for discovery, then you will be at this middle level. And if you go for planning, probably these are the stage 4 teams. So different teams will try to work at different levels depending on what they are trying to grow. Again, trying to walk before they run. Note that you don't need to use this model. I hope you find it useful, but otherwise the objective in this stage is for you to reflect on the logic you use to select the next growth area and avoid just pursuing your gut feeling or the latest fad in terms of practices. So today's challenge can be very short, actually, based on your assessment and know your understanding of what can be the most impactful thing in your organization. Select the next area of growth for your team. So you will find this template that you must copy and adapt, but basically you can see that you will work on 2 areas. Based on my evidence-based assessment, my team is at X maturity stage, and these are the factors that I use to define this level. And our next area of improvement should be such and such because of these reasons. As an example, based on my evidence-based assessment, my team is at an outcome sense stage, so kind of level 2. We have our product measured and we look for opportunities for improvement. We do little discovery, mostly data analysis to understand potential of ideas. And we are not accountable for outcomes yet. We are receiving the request from stakeholders. Our next area of improvement should be growing into solution discovery because this will help us be more customer-centric. We are not looking at multiple options to solve problems. We are lacking customer-centric decision-making, and we should understand more about our user needs before being able to do strategic decisions. So again, this is kind of briefly going through the model and thinking what should be the focus area and why. Making this clear will help us create a better plan in the future days. So what should you do today? Copy the doc, complete it for your team, and share in the group on the Slack channel or as a personal message if you prefer. You will find the link below for Slack, and you can also share any questions you may have. So that's it. Good luck, and see you tomorrow for day 3.